Today on the channel, I'm back from San Diego, and I brought a friend, the one of 1,000 San Diego Comic-Con 2024 AEW Jazwares exclusive, the Supreme Kenny Omega.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. In today's video, we got Kenny Omega, the Jazwares San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, 1 of 1,000 Supreme Edition. But for all your Jazwares needs and everything else under the sun, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And as I did say, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for 2024, 1 of 1,000. Now this one was fairly difficult to get. $40 price point, you had to win the lottery. So a lot of people don't understand San Diego Comic-Con. Obviously it's expensive. You got airfare, you got hotels, you got food, you got driving around, all that kind of stuff. So you got to pay all that to get to San Diego Comic-Con on top of buying a ticket to get to San Diego Comic-Con. But then you're not even guaranteed to get this figure because they do have a lottery for this. Now, 2023, it was a mad dash to get in the line. There was fights in the line. It was a wild, wild scene. This year, they did the lottery program very much like Hasbro and Mattel does, and that iced a lot of people out, myself included. I got iced out from the opportunity to buy this one. So very unfortunate times, but I said, okay, maybe I can find a way. I'll figure something out. Thankfully, saw a good friend of the channel, Jeremy Padower, and he did help me secure one of these. And I will say, it sounded like at night, you know, the con closed at like 6 o'clock. 5 o'clock, there'd be nobody left in line. They'd have their allotment for the day. They'd have X amount left. They'd say, okay, line's open to anybody, so anybody could go and grab those. We also saw them do that with Hasbro. So they had a set amount for each day set aside. If there was people that won the lottery, and I did that. I actually won like a Mr. Beast lottery. I didn't even go over there, didn't even look. So there's extra product for people that don't pick stuff up, and that's what that was. So I probably could have got one then, but I'm very thankful Jeremy Padower helped me out getting this Kenny Omega because I needed one for my collection to unbox and to keep mint on card. So I had to track down a mint on card one, which I had to pay the dreaded eBay prices on. Oh my gosh, eBay getting me. It's the way it goes in the collector hobby. It's not for the faint of heart, as we do know. These reviews, also not for the faint of heart, and we're of course going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. The other thing about this one, I will say, is a lot of people griping about it. Oh, it should have been a better exclusive. Well, if it was something absolutely amazing, people would be griping because, oh, it shouldn't be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So a lot of these companies really cannot win, and I do feel this was a good exclusive. It ties into a little superhero theme with the San Diego Comic-Con. It's a guy like Kenny Omega they have figures of, they've made before. It is a Supreme, but we've had multiple Supreme Kenny Omegas, as we do know. So it's very cool, but it's not one of those things you just gotta have in your collection unless you're a diehard Omega fan. I really do think this is the perfect style San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Not sure what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure all 1,000 are sold out. Previous years, they did not sell this on their website, anything like that. So I think you're stuck like I did. Have to go to eBay if you want to get a copy of this. And that's the way the old cookie crumbles from time to time. But there's old Kenneth Omega, framed out by the Maple Leaf. And a lot of people are like, I thought he was from North Carolina. I guess originally from, I believe, Winnipeg, right? I think up that way. So very interesting. Kenny Omega here. Very superhero style packaging. Love the nod to San Diego Comic-Con right up there. A very cool sticker to remind you of where this is from. 1 of 1,000 in that comic kind of font there. Maple Leaf once again. Jazwares. 8 and up. Mark Summers. Yes, one-man show off Broadway. Mark Summers on the couch here. Keeping security where it needs to be. 10 pieces over here. AEW Kenny Omega on the side. Same thing on this side. Got the little Supreme logo down there. On the back, Kenny Omega. And now, I thought this was a slip cover, but it's not going anywhere. There's no tape. I'm not getting any movement out of this. I'm just crushing the box. So maybe once I get the figure out, maybe that'll change things. I'm not exactly sure. Pulled that out right there. But I thought there was like a slipcase cover over the top, but I don't know. Yeah, there is. It just, Well, I guess there isn't. It is connected. So it feels like it should slide off, but it does not slide off. So if you do it, you're going to ruin the box. I will say that. But there's the old packaging. A gentle off to the side. See you later. There you go. Plastic prison time. And gosh, I love how everything was stored back there. You get 4 heads with this Kenny Omega. How about that? Extra hands. You get a microphone. You do get a garbage can lid as well for him. Maybe not, but we'll dive into that here in a second. But plenty of hands, plenty of heads. Plenty of fun. That's what we got here with Kenny Omega. And I truly thought for sure they were going to have Kenny Omega at the Jazwares panel, and I guess that's a cheap plug. Check out my channel. I did do a video of the whole Jazwares panel at San Diego Comic-Con. I filmed that whole thing. I also filmed some of the AEW panel that was at San Diego Comic-Con as well. So if you're interested in any of that, check out the video. I just put them together in the same video. But Sting last year showed up to the Jazwares panel, and Sting, of course, did have the exclusive last year that we do remember. Uh-oh, we're locked in with a twist tie here, McFarlane style. What are we doing? But we remember Sting last year, so I'm like, oh, this year, I bet, since Kenny Omega's the exclusive, I bet Kenny Omega, there he goes, flying through the air. See you later off to the side. Goodbye. I figured for sure, okay, we'll see Kenny Omega this year at San Diego Comic-Con. Didn't work out that way. Brody King was the big surprise, and everybody loves Big Brody King. I had that little key I've been saving, the key to Brody King's heart, if you remember that Brody King unboxing. I was very happy to present him that key, and he brought me in for a big hug, a big bear hug, of course, and some of that tattooing got off on me. I think those are crayoned in. I'm not exactly sure. Somebody fact check that. I wouldn't do it if I was you. But we saw Brody King there, and then Mercedes Moné. It's worth watching that video just for her missing her cue about 10 times to come into the panel. So that was pretty wild as well. But no Kenny Omega, but we did get 2 AEW superstars there. So thought that was interesting. But now we dive into the figure, and we're going to start it off with the greatest accessory of all time from Jazwares. We do get the AEW microphone. Seen it before. We'll see it again. We know all about that. 2 gripping hands on Kenny Omega out of the package. We get 2 splayed out hands, of course. Got to have those. We get the old good night hand right here. He's going to give you a little of that. So we got that going on. And then we got 2 fists of fury. Any superhero's got to be able to throw some fists. Kenny Omega, no different there. So pretty much every single hand you could probably want for Kenny Omega here. But now we're going to dive into the head sculpts, and a lot of value with these head sculpts. I think 1 would have just sufficed, but they said, let's throw in 3 extra ones. Let's do that. So hardcore Kenny Omega fans, you need 1 of these on card. You need 4 of them loose so you can display each head. I don't make the rules. I just report on them. There it is. But we do got Kenny Omega out of the package here. I don't believe any new head sculpts with this one. I guess we'll see here in a second. But you got Kenny with the darker hair. I always think of him kind of a little lighter. It is darker here, almost a purplish, blackish color here. You got the, of course, goatee going on. The eyes looking just like Kenny Omega. So at the end of the day, I know this is Kenny Omega. Very stoic look out of the package. Second head, not so stoic. He's gritting and bearing it. He's got the teeth showing. This might be a new head, maybe not, but definitely a more mad Kenny Omega. He's getting ready to face off with somebody, I guess, on that one. Next head here, we get a smiling face Kenny Omega. He's just happy to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I guess. A little bit of teeth showing, a little smiling showing, got a little bit of hair down in one side. But looks like Kenny Omega once again. And then the final head here, we got Kenny Omega smiling. Very similar to this last one. Not terribly different. I don't know if we need both of these heads or not, but it is another smiling Kenny Omega. So we got a stoic, a smiling, and a gritting and bearing it. So choose your own Kenny Omega head, however you like it. You can choose. But now we get down to his little weapon of choice, and of course, very fitting. Comic-Con, once again, superhero theme. Captain America having a shield. Captain Maple Leaf right here, whatever you want to call him. He does got this little, it really does look like a garbage can lid. It looks like you're going to put this down, and Oscar the Grouch is going to come out of it, and you're going to close that right back down on Oscar. But in a very nice silver color here, but definitely looks like a can lid. You got a little, like, almost like a hair tie. You ever seen a hair tie you tie your hair with? That's kind of what it looks like right there, so that's interesting. Movable, just like a little rope in there. It's got a little elasticity to it, so that is his shield. You definitely have to display this one with the shield. There's no way around that. But now we dive into Kenny Omega himself, and the big surprise to this one was that it's a Supreme figure. I think a lot of people thought it was an unmatched or unrivaled style figure, but it is truly a Supreme figure, which I think is pretty cool. Head sculpt we already went through, but then you get down to the body and we got the Supreme articulation. I guess we'll run through that real quick. Butterfly shoulders, arms all the way around. Bicep cut looking good. Double jointed pinless elbows playing those hits. Hands back and forth, side to side. Plenty of extra hands. Got the white wrist tape as well. You got the waist articulation. You got the old hula hoop in the middle. You got those big old Omega splits. He's ready to go. Leg does go up, thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees, the hits continue. Boot cut looking good, ankles back and forth, up and down, side to side. And then we got that old McFarlane, old KG McFarlane over there, taking notes from the couch. We got the toe articulation looking nice. Good skin tone color on Kenny, a little bit grayer in the chest than the rest of the arms, but not terrible unless you really stare into it. But we do see that from time to time with Jazwares. Got very Captain America-like tights on here. You got Elite on his butt. You got the Omega symbols. You got the Canadian maple leaf on the side and a little target there. And then you do get the little target, very Captain America-like on the knee pads, looking good with the maple leaf and the Omega. Red boots down to even redder maroon boots there with the kick pads in the front. Just really looking like Kenny Omega if he was a superhero and ready for San Diego Comic-Con 24, I guess. But a good-looking figure, and like I said earlier, it's one of those figures you don't have to have. It's not a must-have, world's going to end figure if you don't have that, unless you're a completist. I understand that. But I think a lot of people would say, I have a bunch of Kenny Omegas, I don't need this one. And that's the beauty, and that's what a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive should be. It shouldn't be the first ever Kenny Omega figure. It shouldn't be an iconic Kenny Omega figure. It's got to be something a little bit off the beaten path to make fans happy that are there, but not the world mad. And I really do think they accomplished that with this figure right here. So kudos to the Jazwares team. Now, does he fit on a ringside collectible Jazwares stand? What do you know? Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. He fits on the old Unrivaled stands just perfectly right there. So another Kenny Omega Supreme joins the army here, but we're not done with Kenny Omega Supremes. We've had quite a few. I guess we've had 2 before, but I have pieced together multiples here. One of the best figures Jazwares has ever done is probably the Kenny Omega Supreme figures. Very fun figures, very good looking figures, as we do know. You can make multiples out of them because you do come with half a body part, and you can grab an Unrivaled or Unmatched and make a full-on Kenny Omega if you want to. A lot of fun for customizers. Drives people like me a little bit crazy, though, because I want to buy multiples to display each look. Not always possible in the old wallet, as we do know as well. But very cool to get some more Kenny Omegas. What's the next Kenny Omega? We'll have to wait and see, but you know there's going to be more from Jazwares in 2024 and probably 2025. So there it is, San Diego Comic-Con 2024 Supreme Kenny Omega exclusive. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? Was it a must-have for you, or do you agree with me? Perfect San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel. With all the content it brings, you do get early access to everything from both YouTube channels with videos every single day. Appreciate the support over there. Check out ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Kenny Omega Supreme San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.